Titanium
Tuesday! Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox, Josh Duhamel, Tyrese Gibson, Jon Voight, Peter Cullen, Hugo Weaving. What do they have in common? Transformers. Robots in disguise. Or humans in disguise of actors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
There it is.
Wow. So this takes me back to my childhood, to 2007.
Oh
no, wait.
Those were younger times.
The 1980s cartoons. Yeah. But live action introduction, I've never really been a fan of LaBeouf. LaFloof. The Shia. I just don't. I've never really cared for him.
No.
I realized that he wasn't a bad choice for this.
Yep.
I'm not sure he was a good choice either.
No.
Back in 2007, though, I mean, really, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of choices.
No.
Especially for that age.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. As far as I remember.
Yeah.
So when this came out, 2007, I was extremely excited about it. I really, really enjoyed this film. There was a lot of things that they introduced that were like, yes, they got that in there. Oh, the introduction to Optimus Prime.
Which is crazy.
That was cool.
And they got the same voice actor who did them in the 80s. That was cool.
They threw Bernie Mac in here.
Yeah, they did.
It
was the last performance that he would have been able to see before he passed away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is a fact.
Yeah.
I would say fun fact, but it's not fun. It's just a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah. So the scenes that they were in the desert with the introduction of the aliens.
So cool.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, we're really used to it nowadays of like everything becoming live action from things that wouldn't have physically been able to do with the cinematics of the time.
Right.
And so this was like one of the first movies that really tried, and this is graphically intense with the robots, getting all those mechanic figured out, because that's hard to do.
How do you think it held up with that kind of, if we were to really scrutinize it, how do you think that would hold up? How did it hold up?
I thought it was good still.
Yeah.
It did. I mean, that was never something that threw me out of the scene.
It's better today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if we were to take, we're gonna see the
Dark Beasts,
the Beast Transformer Beast of the
Beast
King of the World or something like that. But anyway, I think if we look at that and we look at this next to each other, it's going to be totally night and day.
Yeah.
However, if you don't look at them next to each other, I think I was impressed with this, because I haven't seen this in probably 10 years.
Yeah, me too. That's where I was at. And I mean, still, like, they're still using these character models.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, even if you're only going to get better. Like, even if, so say if they were to reboot the series, it could have still very well looked like this, because what they've been able to do from this point on is just refine what these characters look like, because they have a basis to go off of.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to consider is it, I mean, yeah, graphics and where we're at production-wise is significantly better.
Right.
But also it does help that they've had things to be able to base it off of that has worked.
Yes.
So.
No idea what you just said there, but yes.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Let's talk about the good guys and bad guys, shall we?
Yeah, it's Titanium Tuesday, and they are like stronger than titanium.
Yeah, and we have standards. Like, we're trying to get a format figured out.
That's right. And
we're going to continue to go off the rails.
What was pretty interesting was, to me, the Shia's character. I'm convinced that they were really set and ready. I didn't look it up, but that they were set and ready to carry this on to a couple of more.
Yep.
They did set it up. Dark of the Moon.
Yep.
They set that up in this. 13 seconds or whatever.
Right.
That they had the landing, rover landing,
yeah,
or whatever
exactly.
it was. So they set Dark of the Moon up, I think, in this. Revenge of the Fallen, I think that was a little bit of miss for me.
Yeah.
But there was probably a few things in there that that would work.
Yeah.
So I guess I think they did a solid job of setting up the franchise, live action franchise.
Right. They established the Autobots. They established the Decepticons. They had to figure. I mean, and I always like. I mean, a lot of what makes a good super aliens coming into Earth and making a good film is understand. They make the aliens have the same kind of struggles that humans do. Like, yeah, we've struggled with this too. Like, they're just a young, whatever civilization and stuff like that. To make those characters more relatable when they start interacting with the humans.
It's interesting because there's so much. I mean, even the critics, like the YouTube critics and things like, I guess technically like us. Although I've tried to format this very different.
Yeah.
But one of the things that many of them have been coming out and standing up on the platform and saying, hey, we don't need all this ideology stuff in these movies.
Which is so stupid.
And
I'll be the first. No, just kidding. You said it first. I'll be the second to say it's dumb.
Well, no, some of them are now.
Yeah,
I've said it since we've started.
Yeah, you're right.
Like you watch a movie like this, you can't get this now.
No.
You can't get a definitive good versus evil.
Yeah.
You can't get that now.
And how are you supposed to connect with the characters without understanding what to believe in?
Right, and when you talk about how the Decepticons and the Autobots and everything, they're just a more ancient race from another planet, same struggles.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. Good versus evil, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like there's a definitive good versus evil.
Yeah.
And when it's so muddy now in some of the way they write these things and what they're trying to do it's just really it's bizarre. So to watch this again, I felt that refreshing.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is obviously evil. Yeah. This is obviously bad. Right. Good is gonna suffer.
Yeah.
They're gonna even
have to
die.
make sacrifices.
Yes, but they're doing it for the good of the one.
Yeah, and even within this, it's the idea of like, Optimus Prime is like, yeah, I'll give up my life because our race already had a chance. We have to give the humans a chance.
He literally says it's their right to choose as a person.
Yeah, and I was watching this. I started the beginning of the second one because I was pretty thrilled to watch the first one. And he even makes a comment of because then the agent for the president came in and said, hey, we may not want you here. And Optimus Prime said the same exact thing of like, yeah, if you don't want us to be here, that's your right. But here are some of the consequences, things that I'm seeing. But again, you still have that choice.
Right.
So yeah, it's so cool. And like you said, today you have to have ideology, you have to have theology. And like I understand the point of like making characters relatable and like villains having like Thanos, the way Thanos worked, his logic makes sense. Like you understand his purpose, what he's going for better or for worse, like you could understand that perspective. But at the end of the day, it's still not the good
someone's choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you can't make it fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so interesting that they're doing another one, like another Transformers.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see it. I'll just say that. I'm actually excited to see it.
Yeah. This movie did it well. It gets you hyped for what could be within this franchise and what they could do.
Yeah, absolutely. They're heroes.
Yeah, they are.
They're super.
Yeah,
They're titanium. Something.
They're metal. Yeah. Could you imagine being able to like, Bumblebee has like the beat up Camaro at the beginning, and then Megan Fox makes a comment of like, "Oh, why would you want this beat up piece of junk, or why did he choose this for him?" And then he goes off and has feelings and comes back. There's just so many things I could point out in this movie that is enjoyable.
We could talk about this one a long time if we wanted to. Yes.
The other thing I was going to say is, I love the choice of being able to, like, because the dog peed on one of the Autobots, and then Bumblebee goes and then pees on one of the agents. I was like, oh man, it's all tied together.
I know.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Yeah, I loved it. What else you got on this one?
That's all that
It's a pretty good arc.
It is.
For a few minutes that we have.
There's a beginning and an end.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about our arc.
Our arc.
Yeah, there were some tangents, but yeah, it was
We
there.
arced it.
Yeah, and we have an email.
We do.
To end the arc, to let us know if we actually even had one. And that's going to be a legit Q at Maddie'sMovieMix.com.
Hey, that's like 2 in a row.
I am.
You got it.
Yeah. The first one was a struggle. It's been a long week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Stop listening to Podcast Topless. We're shiny brand products that are so comfortable you'll think you're topless. Check out shinybrandproducts.com.